You are being deceived, manipulated, misinformed, by a power so embedded in your daily life that you don't even recognize it anymore. Before you scroll away, what I am about to show you will give you answers about your government, your finances, your career, your relationships, your spiritual path, things you have felt were wrong but could never name. And because what I am about to expose is sensitive, I have chosen to deliver this message through an AI voice. No face, no identity, just the truth. Stay with me. I want to ask you something. This morning, the very first thing you looked at, your phone, the news, reels, WhatsApp. Did it inform you, or did it just make you feel something? Fear, outrage, tribal pride, sadness, anxiety. Any calm, rational, grounded feeling, even one. No, and that is not an accident. Today we are going to talk about the system that is designed, deliberately, systematically, to keep you reacting, to keep you feeling, to keep you from thinking. Today we start exposing the matrix. This is not a conspiracy theory channel. I am not asking you to follow any ideology or political party. I have one single goal: to give you back the habit of thinking for yourself. Most people still believe the media's job is to inform the public. That was true, once maybe. There was a time newspapers, radio, early television, when journalism was built on a real idea: hold power accountable, be the watchdog, tell the public the truth no matter how uncomfortable. And then, slowly, carefully, quietly, something changed. Large corporations started buying small outlets, one by one, and then the ones that were already large. Today, if you map the ownership of India's major news channels, digital platforms, and newspapers, you will find that nearly 80% of the content you consume is controlled by a handful of families and corporate conglomerates. The illusion of choice, that is their most powerful trick. You switch from one channel to another. You tell yourself you're getting different perspectives. But notice, the topics are the same. The emotional framing is the same. The outrage cycle is the same. First COVID, then elections, then the border, then a celebrity scandal, then back to elections. Has that cycle stopped even once? Has there been a single week without a manufactured national crisis? No, and that too is not an accident. Our Puranas contain a concept that most people casually translate as illusion, but that translation is too small for what it actually means. Maya is an active force, an operating system. The Vishnu Purana describes Maya as the Shakti, the power that covers truth. That shows you what it wants you to see, not what is actually there. It is not passive. It is not accidental. It is a mechanism. And Maya's most powerful weapon is not deception. It is identification. In simple terms, labels. The moment you start identifying with the image Maya has shown you, the moment you say, I am straight or gay or lesbian, I am a right wing or left wing, I support this Mumbai Indians and whatnot, you forget what you actually are. And you spend your energy, your time, your outrage fighting the other team. And the people at the very top, they own both teams. They are the referee. They are watching the game with great amusement. This is what our tradition calls mohajal, the web of attachment and manufactured difference. What the media sells you as Hindu versus Muslim, left versus right, pro-reservation versus anti-reservation, these are not organic divisions. They are Maya industrialized. This is not a new concept. What is new is the scale and the speed. Repeat something often enough, attach it to any strong emotion, and people will eventually accept it as truth, not because they verified it, simply because it feels familiar. Advertising agencies have known this for over 100 years. Governments have known it. Political strategists have mastered it. Social media has turbocharged it beyond anything we have seen before. A narrative that used to take 3 months to solidify now takes 3 days. Think about COVID. Remember the slogans. Spread the word, not the virus. Stay home, stay safe. Trust the science. These were not public service announcements. They were programming, psychological conditioning at mass scale. And anyone who questioned that programming, anyone who thought independently, what were they called? Misinformation spreader, conspiracy theorist, danger to public health. The person asking questions became the threat. The system demanding compliance became the protector. That inversion, truth teller as danger, control system as safety, is a signature move of the Matrix. And once you see it, you will see it everywhere. There is a character in the Mahabharata that I want you to think about today. Dhritarashtra. He is blind, literally physically blind, and his only window to the war of Kurukshetra is Sanjaya, to whom the sage Vyasa has granted divine sight. Sanjaya sits beside Dhritarashtra and narrates every move, every arrow, every death in real time. Now consider this carefully. Dhritarashtra has no independent verification. He cannot cross-check. He cannot see for himself. He is entirely, completely dependent on one source. Is Sanjaya telling the truth? In the epic, yes. But the point is, Dhritarashtra has no way of knowing. He must trust the single narrator. You are Dhritarashtra. Everything you know about the world beyond your immediate experience, the war, the crisis, the scandal, the threat, you know because someone told you. Your news channel, your algorithm, your WhatsApp group. You do not have divine sight. You have a curated feed, and someone curated it for you. And they know exactly what they are doing. Ask yourself a simple question. Who benefits from your fear? When you are frightened, you are not rational. You are reactive. You click on the headline that scared you most. You return to the channel that gave you the most outrage. You share the posts that made your blood pressure spike. Fear equals engagement, and engagement equals revenue. This is not a side effect of the news media. This is the business model. And it extends far beyond news. The same entities that keep you in a state of fear also sell you the solution to that fear. Create anxiety, sell anxiety medication. Manufacture insecurity, sell the product that fixes it. Normalize depression, sell the antidepressant. One hand creates the wound. The other hand sells the bandage. Both hands belong to the same body. The more time you spend inside their media ecosystem, the more problems you discover, and the more you need their solutions. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is a business model, and it is documented. Krishna explains this exact psychological chain in the Bhagavad Gita. From anger comes delusion. From delusion, the loss of memory. From loss of memory, the destruction of intelligence. And from the destruction of intelligence, one perishes. That is the exact formula the media runs on. Keep you in crowd, in rage, and the rest follows automatically. You are no longer the driver. You are the passenger. Most people picture propaganda as something obvious. A Doordarshan announcement, a wartime poster, something you can clearly identify and reject. That was old propaganda. Blunt, heavy-handed, easy to see. Modern propaganda is invisible. That is precisely what makes it so much more dangerous. Today, propaganda hides inside. Emotional storytelling. A tragedy shown from one specific angle, designed to produce one specific emotional reaction in you. The facts may be accurate. The selection and framing of those facts, that is the manipulation. Celebrity influence. The actor you admire makes a political statement. You take it seriously. Why? Not because of the quality of their reasoning, because they are familiar to you, because you have emotional investment in them. That familiarity is manufactured through years of screen time, and it is then monetized for opinion shaping. Fact-checking infrastructure. Something gets fact-checked, and you accept it as debunked. But who decides which claims get fact-checked? Who funds the fact-checkers? The question is not whether a specific fact-check is accurate, some are. The question is, who controls the editorial decision of what to check and what to ignore? The algorithm. You believe you are freely browsing the internet. You are not. Every click, every pause, every like, every share is being noted by a system that then decides what comes next in your feed. You are not the explorer. You are the experiment. The choice was made for you before you even opened the app. There is a story in the Puranas about Indra, the king of the Devas. Indra, flush with his power and victory, decides to build the greatest palace ever conceived. He summons Vishwakarma, the divine architect, and keeps demanding more. More halls, more towers, more grandeur. Vishwakarma, exhausted, finally goes to Brahma for help. Brahma takes the matter to Vishnu. Vishnu arrives at Indra's palace in the form of a small boy, a young sannyasi, calm, unassuming. Indra receives him with hospitality. The boy looks around at the magnificent palace and says, "This is extraordinary, Indra. But tell me, the Indras who came before you, who built palaces like this, where are they now?" Indra is confused. The boy then points to a line of ants moving in a column across the floor. "Each of these ants was once an Indra," the boy says. "Each one rose to power, built his empire, believed his reality was permanent, and became this." Indra's ego collapsed. His eyes opened. This story is not meant to make you feel small or hopeless. It is meant to show you one thing. Every system that convinces you it is permanent reality. Every narrative that presents itself as the only truth is a mayajal, an illusory web. Whether it is an empire, a media conglomerate, a political dynasty, or an Instagram algorithm. Every palace is temporary. Every narrative eventually collapses. The question is, what happens to you believing it is real while you are inside it? There is one dimension of this that almost never gets discussed. Social pressure. People did not adopt false narratives purely because they were deceived. Many adopted them because resistance was socially costly. Nobody wants to be called a conspiracy theorist. Nobody wants to be labeled problematic. Nobody wants to be isolated from their family, their friends, their professional circle. And the system understands this completely. Fear of social isolation is among the most powerful psychological forces in human beings. At an evolutionary level, being cast out of the group felt like a death sentence. That instinct still lives in us. So when something feels wrong, when a narrative doesn't add up, most people do not speak. They go quiet. They nod. They perform agreement. And when everyone performs agreement, a false consensus is created. It looks like everyone believes this. But nobody actually verified it. Nobody actually agreed with it in private. They simply did not want to be the one to say it out loud. Try a small experiment. Post one genuinely unpopular opinion in your family WhatsApp group, something that goes against the dominant narrative in that group. Watch what happens. Silence or attack. The conversation that needed to happen, the one that would have moved everyone closer to the truth, was suppressed, not by censorship, by social fear. I want to contrast everything we have discussed with a figure from our tradition. Narad Muni. Narad is the greatest information carrier in the cosmos. He moves through all three worlds, Devlok, Bulok, Padalok, carrying news, revelations, warnings. Nothing is off limits. No source is too powerful to be exposed. But here is what makes Narad different from modern media. His motive is Loka Kalyana, the welfare of the collective. Not ratings, not revenue, not the agenda of a patron. The truth in service of the whole. Because of this, Narad often delivered uncomfortable information to people who did not want to hear it. He exposed the powerful. He disturbed comfortable lies. And no one could stop him because he served no master other than Dharma. That is the ideal of a free press. Information that is true, delivered in service of collective good, answerable to no single power. Hold that image against what you consume every day. Ask yourself honestly, is the media I watch operating in the spirit of Narad, or in the spirit of a managed narrative? You already know the answer. So what do we actually do about all of this? The answer is not stop watching the news or delete social media. That is impractical in the world we live in, and it doesn't address the deeper problem anyway. The answer is Vivek. Vivek, or Viveka for the English listeners, is one of the foundational qualities of a seeking mind. It is the faculty of discrimination, the ability to distinguish the real from the unreal, the permanent from the temporary, the signal from the noise. Viveka is not something you are born with or without. It is a practice. It is developed. Here are 5 things you can begin today. 1. Pause before you react. When any piece of content triggers a strong emotion, stop. 5 seconds. Ask yourself, why am I being made to feel this? Who benefits from this reaction in me? 2. Diversify your sources. Actively seek out sources that challenge your existing views, not to destabilize yourself, but to stress test what you believe. If an idea survives scrutiny from multiple angles, it is stronger. If it collapses when questioned, it was a narrative, not a truth. 3. Track the outrage cycle. Keep a mental note of what the most important crisis was last week and the week before. How many of those crises are you still thinking about? The speed of replacement is itself the signal. 4. Anchor to your immediate reality. The life in your home, your neighborhood, your city, that is your actual experience. A politician's statement from across the country, a war in a place you have never visited, a celebrity's opinion, these are narratives being delivered to you. Your direct experience is data. Their framing of distant events is interpretation. 5. Practice stillness. Even 15 minutes a day without a screen, without input, because Viveka does not develop in noise, it develops in silence. Every piece of fear content, every manufactured outrage, every tribal trigger the media sends you, that is a fluctuation, a disturbance. And as long as you are being perpetually disturbed, you are inside the matrix. The moment you begin to observe these fluctuations, instead of identifying with them, you begin to step outside. I am not asking you to adopt my views. I genuinely don't want that. I am asking you to think again, with your own eyes, your own reasoning, your own life experience as the primary data. Because the moment you stop thinking for yourself, someone else will do it for you, and their motivations will not be yours. That thou art. The consciousness, the awareness, the intelligence, which underlies everything in this universe is the same consciousness that is looking through your eyes right now. But that consciousness functions fully only when it is free, when it is not clouded by manufactured fear, when it is not enslaved to manufactured outrage, when it is not trapped inside manufactured division. You are more than what the Matrix has made you believe you are. I hope you enjoyed listening to me. I hope you have learned something. If you want to add something to what I said, please feel free to comment on this video. Please do not forget to subscribe and like this video so that this video reaches to more seekers like you and me. See you soon.